So in this situation, now I'm asking you to find that third side. So I'm going to give you guys a couple seconds here. And what I want you to do is I want you to discuss this with your partner. And I want you to come up with lengths that would work. If you had 8 and 10, what are some lengths that could possibly work to create a triangle with that? So take a couple of minutes to do that. Had to be greater than 2? So any value greater than 2.
Well, I think so. For any value over 1970.
Over what?
1970 or something.
19 and over doesn't work, right?
No.
What about 18.5? No, it doesn't. All right, so I think what you guys are talking about, we definitely have these parameters. We have these limitations to that third side, isn't there? Okay, so you guys told me we have to be greater than 2. So greater than 2. Well, we can't exceed, so we have to be less than what?
18.
It be less than 18. And think about it, if I had 19, if I chose my side to be 19, 8 and 10 would be my two smaller sides.
Yeah.
So 8 plus 10 is 18. Is that some greater than or less than 19? Be less than. So we can't use 19. If I had 18.5, it's still not going to happen. We're off by 0.5. If I use 18.00001, it's still not going to happen. There'll be just that minuscule gap. So the only values that will work is if it's less than 18. And if I went the opposite direction, all right, let's say I chose 5. Would 5 work? Because now the 5 and the 8 are my two smaller sides. So yeah, 5 plus 8 is 13. That'll work. What if I use 3? 3 plus 8 is 11. That'll work. What if I use 1? Oh, that's not going to work. What if I use 2? What about 2.5?
Yeah.
2.5 works. Okay. So it's anything greater than 2, anything less than 18. And so we write that as a compound inequality. So you get to be greater than 2, but less than 18. And any value inside that range will satisfy the inequality. Now guys, I want you to take a look at that. Seems like there'd be a faster way to figure that out. How could you find the minimum value, and how could you find the maximum value? Chris?
You find the minimum by subtracting them, and you find the maximum by.
Oh. So if I subtract my two values, I get my minimum. If I add my two values, I get my maximum. So if we look at example 5, what would be my minimum value? So 9 is less than x, which is less than. Now what would be my maximum value? Ta-da! And we're done. Just a little bit of logic. That's what's kind of nice about this lesson. You got to think a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, if I were you guys, I'd make sure you mention in your notes that the minimum value is from subtracting, and the maximum value is from adding. I would make sure you say that in your notes. So tomorrow or tonight when you work on the homework, you're not yelling like, I can't remember how you found those values. You subtract and you add, and we're done.